Anyway, hi everybody. This is Sean with Geeks Welcome. This is just going to be kind of a little rant video. I know that a lot of people have been saying this online and it's kind of irked me, so I just wanted to get a point across and just, I guess, like I said, rant about something really quick. And it's about the concept of Marvel fatigue or MCU fatigue or superhero movie fatigue, whatever you want to call it. My argument is basically just that doesn't actually exist.
It doesn't exist. It's not existent. What the hell does that mean?
Lots of people are saying that Marvel fatigue or MCU fatigue, superhero fatigue exists because people are tired of going to see the movies. They're looking at the current state of comics and the MCU, specifically Phase 4, as kind of a sort of litmus test for why this exists. People are getting tired of seeing these movies. That's why nobody likes what's currently come out in Phase 4, which, to be completely honest with you, is just not true. There are plenty of people who have really liked the offerings that Phase 4 has presented. And to say that nobody likes this stuff is just kind of disingenuous. What you're finding is that a lot of the criticism that's coming from the current Phase 4 projects is coming from primarily a lot of just trolls, lazy racists, lazy bigots, lazy sexists who are just throwing out the concept of it sucks at anything that doesn't star a straight white man as the lead role. So there is that there's that subset of criticism fan base, but I think a lot of the criticism is mainly coming from a point of view of people who are just kind of not really understanding what the Marvel Cinematic Universe is becoming, and they are kind of stuck in a specific I guess I'm not sure of the word I want to use or the words I want to use here, but they're stuck in a way of thinking or a way of looking at the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They're stuck at looking at this as a perspective of the way Phase 1 through 3 were. Phase 1 through 3, there was a general overall, I guess, zeitgeist of the MCU is that everything is connected.
Keep in mind, it's all connected.
Right? And you need to watch everything in order to stay up on all of it. So if you want to know what's going on in Infinity War, you're going to have to have watched every single movie that came out between Iron Man and Infinity War. And what's happening with the MCU now is that that's just no longer the case. Lots of these projects, lots of these things are just not connected anymore. They're only tangentially or loosely connected, and I'm guilty of this myself. I have fallen prey to this way of thinking that everything needed to all be connected and everything needed to all be involved in one big thing. And it just took me a while to grasp this concept, but I was walking into my local comic book store and I was picking the comics that I'd been following, picking the comics that I read, and I noticed something. I'm not picking up every single Marvel issue that comes out this week. I'm only picking up the comics that I'm following. I'm following a couple of the X books, and I'm not even following all the X books. I'm reading Immortal X-Men, I'm reading X-Men Red, I'm reading Marauders, but I'm not reading every X book. And, that's when it dawned on me. I recognize I'm not reading every single X book. You look at these checklists that they have in the back of certain issues, like for instance, there's an event that just ended, AXE, or Avengers, X-Men, Eternals, Judgment Day, and there's this huge checklist in the back of the book, and it's like this issue, this issue, this issue, and they're all different books, but they're all connected to the event. And I'm realizing I'm not reading every single one of those books. I'm only reading the books that I'm already following. And, obviously the main event book itself, but somehow I'm still getting the gist of what's happening in the story, even though I'm not reading every single book. And that's when it dawned on me that that's what the MCU has become, right? So the MCU has become more like the comics that it is portraying on screen. It's, you only have to follow what you're actually interested in. So if you're not particularly interested in Shang-Chi or Miss Marvel, but you are interested in what's going on with She-Hulk, then you can just watch She-Hulk. You know, if you're not interested in She-Hulk at all, but you're interested in Miss Marvel and Shang-Chi, you can just watch those. If you're not interested in any of that, but you are interested in Moon Knight, you can just watch that. And if you're not interested in any of that, but you are crazy mad interested in Werewolf by Night, hey, guess what? We got a special for that too. So the MCU has become what they started off, reflecting in live action. They're just a live action version of actual comic books now. You don't have to watch everything. Not everything has to appeal directly to you. They're spreading their fan base and they're appealing to who they appeal to. Each and every single individual product does not have to appeal to every single MCU fan. It just has to appeal to the fans that it does appeal to. And then when the big crossover event happens, hey, if this has hit and that has hit and that is it. For instance, say if She-Hulk hits and Shang-Chi hits and Miss Marvel hit or Moon Knight hit and Hawkeye, the new Hawkeye hits, if they hit, if they make it big, then hey, guess what? We'll throw them into the crossover. And if they don't, guess what? We won't. So it's just become this live action, real world reflection of this thing that people like me already loved, which is the comic books. And the MCU is becoming more and more like the actual Marvel comic book universe it represents. And that's a good thing. Not every comic book and not every superhero is for me and is meant for me, but it is for someone. And that's a great thing for the Marvel Cinematic Universe to be doing, is to be making stuff that hits for somebody. Somebody out there loves Miss Marvel. I actually love Miss Marvel, but I'm just making a point here. I've actually loved most of the stuff that's come out, but I'm just making a point. Somebody out there loves Moon Knight. Somebody out there loves She-Hulk. Somebody out there loves Shang-Chi. Hell, somebody out there loved Eternals, So just because you yourself are personally not interested in it doesn't mean that the MCU is falling apart. It just means that it's choosing to go in other directions and choosing to appeal to different fan bases, choosing to acquire new fans and find new ways of communicating to people and getting their message out to people that, hey, this is a thing that's for everyone. Not every single part of it may be for every single person, but we have something for everybody. And that's a great thing for the MCU to be doing. That's a great direction for them to be going. And it's only going to boost the MCU in the future. And to be completely honest, let's face it, we're all going to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. You know it. I know it. There's no Marvel MCU fans not going to see Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So, I mean, that's the thing that unifies us all. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. No, I'm just kidding. What unifies us all is that, hey, there is going to be that thing that everybody is just going to love and adore and go see. There's going to be those big event pictures that we're all going to come together and watch. But guess what? Every single one of those individual characters may have been part of something that maybe you weren't as into as you were into this thing. But guess what? When they all come together, all of us can come together and enjoy them as fans. And that's how comic books have worked for the past forever, and that's how the movies are starting to work now. They're starting to reflect the model that they originally were based on, and that's a wonderful, great, and amazing thing for the future. And I'm looking forward to whatever else they put out there. It's all good. It's all comics, and that's a great thing. So this is Sean with Geeks Welcome. I'm signing out. I'll talk to you guys later.